The narrative begins on Isla Nublar, a little island 120 miles off Costa Rica's coast. A vast crew of construction workers and animal handlers unloads a massive container, leaving the monster inside hidden. During the procedure, the animal attempts to flee, causing a widespread panic and the death of one of the workers. The plot shifts to an amber mine in the Dominican Republic, where we learn that amber miners are working with a genetic engineering business named InGen. While he is speaking with the mine's manager, Juanito, his crew discovers a big chunk of amber with a preserved insect within. Dr. Alan Grant and his assistant Ellie Sattler are introduced to us during a paleontological excavation in Montana as they progressively find the fossilized bones of a velociraptor, maybe nature's most vicious and clever predator to date, a gorgeous animal evolved to kill. Grant's study includes testing a new radiological gadget that fires a probe into the ground, bouncing an image of a discovered raptor bone back to a computer screen. Grant is skeptical of the new technology, but he is enthralled by the image it provides without having to dig. He also believes in a long-held paleontological idea that dinosaurs evolved more from birds than reptiles. One of his assistants has brought his kid, who scoffs at the image on the television, unimpressed that it resembles a dead turkey. Grant informs the child about how velociraptors hunted their victims with quick coordinated strikes. When Grant explains that velociraptors typically consume their victim alive after bringing it down, the child is frightened. The excavation is cut short when Grant and Sattler's primary backer, the elderly and eccentric billionaire John Hammond, appears unexpectedly. He invites them to his latest project, a distant island resort with unique biological attractions that are guaranteed to drive children out of their minds. Grant and Sattler are joined by two other characters, Dr. Ian Malcolm, a similarly eccentric chaos theorist, and Donald Gennaro, a lawyer who defends Hammond's investors. They are greeted to a one-of-a-kind show of real, breathing dinosaurs when they arrive by helicopter.
There's a dinosaur.
The sight of these huge monsters, a towering brachiosaurus joined by a herd of Parasaurolophus, is enough to leave the shocked visitors speechless, save for Gennaro's casual remark, "We're gonna make a fortune off this place."
You said you've got a T-Rex?
We have a T-Rex.
Visitors are then given a quick tour of the procedure that developed the animals when they arrive at the island's major resort and control facilities. InGen has successfully cloned animals using basic strands of DNA recovered from mosquitoes that dined on dinosaur blood and were preserved for millions of years within ancient amber. Grant is extremely disturbed when the group is shown the egg incubation room, just in time to see the birth of a newborn velociraptor. He wants to see where the grown-ups are kept. The unique confinement facility seen in the opening, a fortress of electric fencing and lush jungle, is all that stands between mankind and the island's most dangerous species. Grant witnesses the animals' daily feeding. A cow is put into the pit, only to be stripped clean within seconds. The party is getting ready to enjoy the theme park's main feature, which takes visitors on a safari-style tour of the park in specially powered Ford Explorers. Grant, Sattler, Malcolm, and Gennaro are joined by two of Hammond's grandchildren, Lex and her younger brother Tim. As the party departs, Hammond retires to the main control center, where his two computer specialists, Arnold and Nedry, administer the park's sophisticated infrastructure. The trip is rather uneventful since the Tyrannosaurus Rex and Dilophosaurus, two incredibly fearsome animals, refuse to show themselves to the guests. Sattler leaves the group to assist with a sick triceratops being cared for by the park vets. The trip is cut short due to an impending tropical storm. Meanwhile, we uncover Nedry's real colors. He has been recruited to collect dinosaur embryos for InGen's competitor business, Biosyn. To take the embryos, he disables the park's security systems, but this causes the tour's electric vehicles to break down and the electrified walls to fail, allowing the dinosaurs to escape. A T-Rex escapes its containment and wrecks the tour cars in the film's most dramatic moment. Grant escapes with the scared children after Gennaro is devoured and Malcolm is gravely injured. Meanwhile, a befuddled Nedry tries to pass over the stolen embryos to his contact and he is attacked by a venom-spitting Dilophosaurus, and justice is served. Sattler and Park Warden Muldoon arrive in a jeep at the scene of the T-Rex attack to discover Malcolm wounded and Gennaro's remains, but everyone else has vanished. The T-Rex reappears to pursue the Jeep along the road in a spectacular automobile chase action sequence, but the humans finally escape. Grant and the kids spend the night in a tree, and when they wake up, a Brachiosaurus is grazing nearby. Lex is terrified at first, but Grant reassures her that brachiosaurs are peaceful herbivores and that dinosaurs aren't monsters, but rather animals.
Come on. God bless you!
Park system still down, Arnold is compelled to take urgent action and reset the system, which has the unexpected consequence of releasing the savage velociraptors. Arnold, Muldoon, and Sattler attempt to reclaim authority, only to be outwitted and slain by the crafty animals. Only Sattler escapes death by a hair's breadth.
That's not funny.
Grant and the kids return to the main resort complex after watching a rush of ostrich-like dinosaurs known as Gallimimus, only to find it deserted. Grant abandons the children in the main eating area and searches for additional survivors. Meanwhile, Lex and Tim are being pursued by a pair of raptors inside the main kitchen. Lex and Tim eventually manage to lure one of the raptors into the freezer and lock it there, but the other raptor pursues them out. Grant, Sattler, and the kids gather in the control room to try to restore power and communications to the park, but are trapped inside by the same raptor. The security systems and phone connections are brought back up just in time. Nonetheless, the raptors burst into the control room and pursue them across the whole structure. They are eventually caught by the final two raptors within the main atrium. Just when all hope seems gone, the T-Rex charges in and fights the raptors, giving the tiny number of humans the time to flee. The T-Rex shouts a last triumph roar behind a falling banner declaring, "When dinosaurs ruled the earth," as people depart the island via helicopter. The last sequence is incredibly strong and majestic, and it wonderfully embodies the spirit of the film, which portrays dinosaurs as some of the most amazing animals to ever walk the earth.